is Black Spring with Autumn on your Wednesday. I tell you, with so many things going on, there's going to be a live stream going on later today. And of course, it's my goal to just bring you information, is to inform, and in that I try to bring you as many resources, as many statistics as I can find, and when I can, bring it to you directly from the source. So I don't know if you guys are hearing about it, but there's gloom and doom in the forecast, according to like Market Watch and some of the other economics and business you know pundits and whatnot. However, I want to bring you a report later that's going to talk about the amount of layoffs that were predicted for September. Everything from technology, retail, e-commerce, you name it. And even with Walmart having some of their top people being, laid off or cut, with even including some of those. Okay, so I'm going to be probably going to try to bring you that report later, maybe even this evening. Maybe it's time for a moonlighting with Black Spring, so perhaps, but at least we'll get it in today for sure. So I'm going to be bringing you something from a liner that reports on, reports the data, the labor data, as well as, findings, WAR, and find the topic at hand. Okay, so I'm calling it a docket. Okay, that's my own little, that's my own little figurative language there. Okay, if you're new to the Black Spring, then you'll get to know that. But I do speak a little bit in CODE. Yeah. So, however, apparently the USDA wants you to register your local community, your gardens. And the definition of what that is to qualify you is pretty broad. So there you go, folks. You already got it. They're going to shut down. To me, this reminds me historically of, nationalizing resources for food. We are on the brink of quite a few things, collapses right now, and not to mention the issues with food. Okay, so why would the USDA want you to register your garden? So they're giving all these hokey initiatives. Oh, well, it's all about climate change and diverse gardens, and but hey, it looks like the bottom line, you're gonna, with all that's been done, according to this particular article that came out of, I'll give you the source in just a second. Um, with all of these studies that have been done to show what the body, how much sugar, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, how much sugar the body actually needs, it's kind of contradictory to what the USDA says that they actually stand for. And health, you're going to be hard pressed you're going to have a hard time to convince people based on those statistics and those findings. So reports that were submitted back in 2018, reports that were submitted back in 2019, reports that were submitted back in 2020, findings. And their people basically came back and said, hey, we don't, what you're asking for in high fructose corn syrup, with that being an ingredient in many products that the USDA actually happens to fund or subsidize those companies that put those chems into your food. They said, well, you don't have enough findings to substantiate that kind of quantitative change in those allowances, in those recommended allowances. So nothing was done. But with the demic and all, many people that either succumbed to the demic, or other cocktails, many of those people were that was a part of the comorbidities, was diabetes, heart disease, whether it was type 2. Yeah, many of those were factors in those people's demise. But now all of a sudden they want to be in your backyard. They want to be in your community. They want to know what you're growing. And I don't know if it's going to eventually, if it's going to be something that they're going to try to mandate. But to me, it looks a little commie to me. It sounds a little bit more like 1936 or something, Russia or whatnot. Well, you're nationalizing food resources. And they're going, I mean, and that's, and to the end of the particular article, it talks about in times of, what dare I say, pestilence in the land, famine, shortages, brinks of collapses. This is a paraphrase of mine on the end, that the food is going to be worth a lot of money. Okay, it's going to be worth a lot of money. So I'm just saying, you got any kind of co-op, or it's just they are moving in, folks, is I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let me just go ahead and say hello to everybody. Melinda, good morning to you. And then also, not to mention, I'm hearing things about the big stores, the big box stores. And I'm telling you, this economy is definitely on the brink of, it's on the brink. However, I here's some irony. Here's some irony, okay? If I'm not mistaken, I just heard, and I'm going to look this up. Did they just award Ben Bernanke with an award? Yeah, did he not just get an award? And I would think, economically, like less than 20 years ago, things were not so good. So why would he be getting an award at a time like with that housing bubble burst in the back pocket? Okay, I didn't forget about that. But we seem to be on a cycle. Shout out to Mr. Pearson. We seem to be on a cycle of every so many years, they get injected with fat, and they shave more off of us. Shave more off the top on us, off the peasants, and then they just keep swelling. So I don't know, folks. I don't know. But these 3-letter agencies are definitely kind of closing in. They're starting to close in more and more. I really have no idea. Let me just read some of the comments here. I appreciate it. I just want to make this is a brief one. Like I said, I think with the amount of layoffs and the economic, to me, a bubble about to be the second bubble or third bubble that's about to burst, I think it warrants a full stream. And maybe we'll get to that. If I can this evening, maybe I'll try. But definitely, if not today, certainly tomorrow. Have a little break. Take a break with me. Okay. I read a couple comments. Melinda says, we only have 2 stores here to buy everyday things. Walmart and Target. We are going to have a lot of people unemployed. Yes, that's what I figured by the, quote, holiday season. And what's disgusting is I'm going off on a little bit of a smidge of a tangent, that Wayfair and some of these companies, which they're doing layoffs as well. Okay, layoffs for retail. Almost 1,000 employees. A lot of people are doing layoffs. But I think by the time we get to the quote holiday season, people are not going to be realize people are going to be more stressed out and realize that not only can they not buy what they've bought in the past, but there is just going to be more of a reality check. I think they're even starting to stress the truck drivers. I have a truck driver correspondent, and I think they're starting to feel the squeeze, with the gas prices and all. So I don't know. The real economy is standing up, no matter what balance sheets they're showing you. Okay, it really is. And PayPal is a whole nother meal. If you've got a PayPal account and you're trying to close it, They have figured out a way to try to hold on to people. I think they're trying to get people's bank accounts. Telling people they cannot cancel. I'm telling this is a direct source. PayPal. Going on another tangent. I went on a tangent really quickly on this tangent is about PayPal. If you've got an account, and that's another service announcement I need to make. I will be doing something else. I will no longer use PayPal in reference in in support or anything. If I garner any support for this channel, which things are down, which is fine. I tried to promote things because as a content creator, of course, the powers would never grant me any type of monetization on their frame. So, on Patreon. So I'm probably going to have to pull that particular source, but I think I think PayPal won't be the only one. I think there are going to be other sources in which they're going to come after, because there's a government stamp coming on everything right now. PayPal is not going to stop with PayPal. Okay. We've talked about the gig economy before. It's all coming to they're all getting ready to see the middle class is practically done for. Okay. Ed Hen says, hey, I managed to do 150 push-ups yesterday in one go. Oh, excellent. Keep it up. Melinda says, we were in the middle of nowhere. Closest stores 4 hours away. Wow, Melinda. Melinda says, anyone found in my backyard is toast. Well, and then Ed Hen says, you should see the long red-haired comedy dude skit on the PayPal choices. Bad situation, but his skit is hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, I will try to bring you some Echo. We can have an Echo Wednesday. I'm prefer we're having an integrated news as much as possible. I try to, because I've kind of made a slight shift, but a slight shift away from, where this channel originally, my original baseline. But now I'm just trying to, stick with things, stick to as many things that I think that are relevant and are much more pressing than, the Matrix. At this point, I think all kind of tricks are going to be pulled out and promise you treats in this All Hallows Ween season this month, and because next month is your voter situation. Okay. So that's what you got coming next month. But yeah, the inflation, or I could call the inflammation, returns have started hitting people's bank accounts. California, for one, started rolling them out last week. As initially I told you, there were about 17 states that were going to be providing refunds. I think California was up to $1,050, I guess, for joint couples. And then, if you were on the other side, if you are single, you were going to get, less, something like $250 or something and up is what their parameters were. You can check that out online. But their MTC or MCT payments started going to, or MFT, MBT, MCT, something like that, or something like that, started hitting accounts last week. So, yeah, but it's going on, folks. I don't know, the supplies. I'm telling you, some of the more basic. Not only are the shelves kind of, still things are sparsely still put on the shelves. I think that there'll be, more essential things are going to be harder to get before the end of the year. And then because of the inflation, I think what Jerry say, a can of Lysol, Lysol or Johnson & Johnson, or I don't know, they're probably making a killing, because I think right now a can of Lysol is probably going for about $7, $6-7 by the end of the year. Who knows? Costco. Now, if you have a Costco membership, I don't know if you're going to be going there. But I would imagine if there's certain things that you need, you probably want to get them now. And this is, to me, this is a cycle. We've heard this before as well. I think when this regime took over, they were telling people to buy holiday gifts earlier, whether you're buying stuff for holiday or if you're just trying to, sustain yourself or survive. They were telling you to buy your gifts earlier last year or the year before, something like that. So I think it's going to be a word to the wise to do that on some of your most essential items. I don't know, but I think some rough stuff is on the way. Shout out to Mr. Pearson. He just he does such a fantastic job. Um, yeah, it just looks like, dare I say, if I give a biblical reference or a paraphrase, dare I, on rumors of war. But, it's better to be prepared for something, than to have to get ready, because at that point you're too late. We talked about last month, they were calling it September was the, ready, get Denver ready. And they were giving out the actual bug out bags, but I'm not sure if, I'm not even sure if people really grasp the, like a 2-hour handout of bug out bags. Do they really? I doubt it. What are they preparing us for? Is what many people, you know, is where we're already like 20 steps ahead of the game. We're 2 years. I won't say 20 steps. We're 2 to 3 years, I think, ahead of what drips out. Now they're dripping out a whole lot of things. Yeah, we still have a lot of young people. I know I'm going all over the place right now, but I just wanted to get this out. Like, I'm gonna go back to my original and close this one out. But I'm gonna do a regular stream, informational, and give you some sources, and we'll go from there. If not today, if not this evening, it'll be tomorrow. I've got time, and then Friday, we'll see. Friday should have some time as well. So we'll see. We're gonna get into a few things. But yes, the People's Garden Initiative. It's funny how every time they put something on the front, the people on the front of something, it seems like the people are, it's really not in the interest of the people. The People's Garden Initiative, the USDA wants to push forward with that initiative, okay? They want you to register your community gardens, and they say it's easy for you to qualify. And by the way, you'll get a nice little sign to go in your yard that says, "Hey, I'm a People's Garden Initiative, and it's all about diversified gardens and nutrition and climate change, addressing climate change." So I'm telling you, this sounds like 1930 something Stalin. It does, like nationalizing food resources. Because we already know that many farmers have already been paid. They've already been subsidized not to grow things, but now they want to get in your backyard. Now they want to they want to come closer to you to say, "Hey, we got our hands on this." And I don't know what that's going to mean. I think I don't know what that's going to come out in the form of. I don't know if it will come to the states, if it'll come from the feds and then go down to the states, or somebody needs to be filing something against this. Or will it go down to states' rights if they, try to push this on people that already have, pretty big gardens, or people that are homesteading or live in big communities, people that live in, like Jerry said, like, I don't want, maybe this is not the same, not a parallel, but like the Amish, for one, I'm sure they have plenty of gardens, but are they going to put the squeeze on them to say, "Hey, you guys got to include your gardens in this as well"? You have a lot of people that are homesteading. Dare I say homesteading? That's not the word that I want to use. But there's communities in which people are living, have decided to live a simpler lifestyle, for whether it's on the basis of religion or whatnot. But those people have fantastic gardens. Yeah, they have fantastic gardens. They have their own food supply that has nothing to do with And I tell you something else. Their food and their gardens, their vegetables look a heck of a lot better than what we see in our gardens, or what we see that's coming out of these grocery stores. You got cantaloupes that won't ripen. You got, I'm telling you, the People's Garden Initiative. Be on the lookout for that. I don't know. I mean, to me, you can't put in much faith in these politicians, so I don't know what's going to happen. But once they start reaching into your gardens, or telling you, they'll be telling you what you can't put in it. They're going to give you a sign, basically, stamped, the USDA in your yard, I guess. That's going to make you feel better that your garden has now been nationalized. So I don't know, folks. Does that include raised beds? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know and for all we know, listen, my friends, sometimes this stuff is retroactive. It might already be in one of these bills. The Green New Deal might already, or the old deal that they call the Green New Deal, might already have included this People's Garden Initiative. It may have already. So just be on the lookout for that. They put language and all this kind of stuff. What have you got? The i14 Pro iPhone that's got crash detection, snapshot from Progressive. You got all kinds of surveillance that's going to bring Big Brother closer to you. Now he's coming into your garden. Now he wants to get into your garden. And they've got a hokey little video with people, like Habitat for Humanity. I'll show you that video later. Habitat for Humanity kind of video, and I'll give you the source of this. But I'm just telling you guys, I'm telling you that they are closing in on, I think the food situation is going to be, pestilence in the land is coming, okay? So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But yeah, so I mean, can you imagine you growing your food and all of a sudden you got to bring all the, everybody in the town knows what you have, and then stuff starts missing, and then you just, I tell you. Hi guys, let's just say hi real quick, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Melinda says, don't need no science. This is such a real crock. Trouble is you can't even grow pretty flowers or decent veggies with what these people are shoveling at us. Miss Maskell says, advertise your garden to soon be starving population. Yeah, that is on. You're on it, Miss Maskell. And Anarchy, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. Ed Hen says, well, the issue with the bug out bags now is if an EMP goes off, you can't. Right. Like it was a Faraday cage. I was trying to figure out, this is why I was saying, it would be nice if we could have a 411 or our own little preppers thing, but I don't know if it can be, at the way things are right now, if things can be public. I really don't. I think that's getting to be more inflammatory. Like I said, for those of you that have been on my Patreon, I am going to change that source on there, and I'm probably going to take it off of this particular channel because PayPal is doing their government mandates. They're doing what they're told. All right, guys, so look out for that, the People's Garden Initiative. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And like I said, if I have the time today, I certainly will be coming back. I think there's a good chance I might. So I will be coming back, and we'll get into that. Maybe we'll get into some of these layoffs and what else is going on. I appreciate you guys so much. But I don't know what can be done about this initiative. But how are you going to stop them? The 3-letter organizations have been able to do everything, including the CDCs, and they've been able to do whatever else they wanted to do during this time. So I don't think this will be any different. But I want you guys to have a great day, and I will see you later. Thanks, guys.